Alright, so this is another story about the pizza place that I worked at. I said in the last video I was usually alone, and that was true on weekdays, but on weekends and like holidays and stuff where we knew it would be busy, we had more help. One cook I worked with really often was creepy enough he needed his own story. So it started off that we were just talking and stuff, like coworkers would, you know. He asked for my Snapchat and I gave it to him because at the time I didn't really see any harm in it. After he got my Snapchat was when he went past where I was comfortable. Keep in mind, I was still 16 and he was around 24, I think. He started to ask me to go to his place, which I never even considered accepting, don't worry, and general just flirtatious comments. I don't remember too many specifically, but I do remember once I joked around with another coworker that I don't have a life, and he responded, "You can have a life with me." Both me and the other coworker were like, whoa, that was way too much. I also remember once when I was letting my hair down after a shift, he screamed, "Woo!" And then he said, "Dang, I keep thinking you're 18. And I remember looking at him and not knowing what to say, and then waiting outside for my ride. Then one day on Snapchat, he messaged me, "Good morning, beautiful," and I blocked him right after. A couple days later, we worked together, and he was really rude to me the whole time, and that Snapchat encounter is the only reason I can think of, so that's why I mentioned it. And anytime I was in the middle of doing something, he would get in my way and start doing what I was in the middle of doing, so I had to go somewhere else and find something else to do, because they were only one-person jobs, and it was obvious that he was doing it to make me angry, but 16-year-old me was not someone to confront anybody, so I just kind of went with it. This meant, though, that since the guy was watching me whenever I started something, he also saw me put my code into the register. Whenever he interrupted me with a job at the register, though, I never left because I was told to never let someone else use your register, and so to make up for me not using it, I just watched him use it. At one point later that shift, I was bringing a dine-in customer their food, and in that point, he swooped in and started taking care of the customers waiting at the front. I didn't really care that much as I was focused on another job, and from what I had seen, he was good with the money, and that was a very major register rule I had just broken. Another one that I had broke just a few minutes prior was that somebody had paid me 2 $100 bills. I was really busy, so I just stuck them into the register and told myself I would get to it later. Which, if you have a job, bad. Don't do that. I've seen people in the job I had after that do that many times. But no, I don't care what you have to do, how busy you are, put the money in the safe immediately. As soon as you have it, it's your number one priority. Nothing else in your job matters in that moment in time. But anyways, back to the story. So once I get back to my register, I noticed the money wasn't there anymore. I was a little concerned, but nothing major. I asked the manager if she had moved it, and she said she hadn't. I didn't even think about asking the cook. I don't know why. I just assumed I put them in the safe and didn't remember. So the shift goes on, and the restaurant closes, and it's time to count my register. And at the time, it was a total shock to me when I was $300 short. The district managers and register owner, as well as the police, were called, and then they realized that they had cameras nearly everywhere in the store, including 2 shots of the upfront waiting area, but not one of the cameras had a view of the front register. Like, they had the view of the people ordering, but they didn't have the view of the people behind the register, so they had no proof as to who did it. But since it was under my name in the register, I was the one who got in trouble. They didn't make me pay for it, though, which was really nice. Like, really nice. The cook stopped showing up about 3 days later, and I kept my job because there was nobody else they could get to do my job, and they needed me. So that's the end of that story.